welcome to the 5th episode of the Goofy Movies Podcast. Here with me today. Thank
We're
you.
back up in here, baby.
Here with me today, joining me as always, Adam and another beloved co-host, Connor.
Hello.
What's up?
Nice.
What's up, Kings? What's up?
Not a whole lot, my friend. I got a new monitor, and I'm really fucking stoked about it.
Did you hook it up already?
Yeah, it looks really beautiful.
Oh. That's cool. That's cool. So anything before I go? Anything you guys want to say? Any things, like any thoughts on your mind currently about the Goofy movies or the related works?
I've been watching more episodes of Goof Troop, and it's like it's blowing my mind each episode. It's just like, yo.
Oh yeah. You mentioned this in between episodes that like one of the episodes just straight up confirmed like he's Max Jr.
He's Goofy Jr.
Goofy Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Which would make Goofy's name Max.
Well,
or
yeah.
Max's name Goofy.
I mean, unless he's named after one of his other family members.
That is a possibility.
So, like if it's named after his grandfather, which is something Goofy would do.
I think his grandfather, his father's name was like something with an A. I wouldn't say Albert or some Augustus or something like that. I know it's in the wiki.
Yeah.
When I was trying to look up what's Goofy's real name.
But no, yeah. So yeah, like that much is confirmed. In what episode? Do you remember what episode that happened?
I think it's in episode 8.
Yeah, so in episode 8, like even as early as episode 8, they like were referring to that because like a friend comes over and calls him Goof Jr., correct?
Yeah, it was the episode is just like someone he knew from high school came over and it's like, oh, who are you? It's like, oh, you must be Goofy Jr. And Goofy's like, yep, that's my boy. And then later on in the episode, like when Max is doing a skateboarding stunt disguised as his dad, they're like, wait a minute, you're not. And they see him, they're like, wait a minute, you're not Goofy. And he's like, Goofy Jr., man.
Mm.
So it's like not only he like Goofy
Damn.
says it, Max himself confirms it, you know.
That's hard confirmation.
It is pretty hard confirmation.
Because like, if only Goofy had said it, it'd be like, oh, he's just being, himself. He's just being a goof right now. But Max says it. So.
But yeah, actually, by the way, we are also wrong about how many times Max skateboards in the Goofy movie. He actually skateboards twice. Once during him running back home after killing it at Standout, and the second time was when the car started rolling away from them at the canyon. There's this little short segment where Goofy and Max both skateboard together.
Oh yeah, some good old Goofy hijinks.
Yes, the good old Goofy hijinks. And also, because I actually finally fucking watched Goofy movie again. I actually watched the whole thing from beginning to end today. And so it's really fresh in my mind, right? So yeah,
Okay.
those are the two times he skateboards. There was this other thing I was gonna bring up. I'll probably remember it in a bit. But yeah, like I finally fucking watched it again properly, and yeah, man, I'm fucking like I really appreciate that movie. Like finishing it again. I'm like, yo, you know what? I really fucking do like this movie like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, it holds up.
it holds up, but there's one little detail that is hilarious to me. Because even though like the movie still kind of feels cheap in one really weird way, they just have these really weird cuts. So as you remember, so first of all, yeah, again, Max doesn't pull the perfect cast out of nowhere. Goofy teaches him the perfect cast. Like when they accidentally drag Bigfoot over. So Bigfoot comes over, hijinks, and like so Goofy and Max are like hiding in the car and they sleep in the car, but like Bigfoot is sleeping on the roof of the car when they go to sleep, and it just fades to black, and then it just like becomes morning, and Goofy and Max are just at a diner. They do not explain what happens to Bigfoot. like Bigfoot came and like harassed the shit out of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and it was just like going through all their shit, and then just slept on the roof, and then apparently just like let them go at some point, or he just like fucked off because he got bored. It just straight up cuts, and that's another thing that happens. That happens again. So after the car goes in the canyon, and like Max and Goofy like reconcile, and like Max saves Goofy with the perfect cast. Like after they go off over the waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it fades to black again, and they're just hiding in cases for musical equipment.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And they're just at the fucking power line concert.
Yeah, like there's no, they don't even try to give you like how they got there.
No,
like that sounds like hijinks. Like I'd watch them getting in there. You know?
Yeah, they're probably running out of time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. It feels cheap. Like it kind of feels like, okay, we need to finish this. All this other little like minor shit could fucking stay or go.
Well, that's basically like fulfilling. Excuse me. Fulfilling. That's basically like fulfilling the Max and Roxanne subplot. Like that's kind of what it's there for. Like the fact that he lied.
I mean, subplot. It's kind of the plot.
Yeah, it's kind of the plot.
Well, yeah, but the main emotional plot of the movie is Max and Goofy, and that's resolved by the time they get there.
Well, because that's okay. So I don't know. Like, it's really weird. Like, because like when you think about the movie in its entirety, so the movie starts out with like Max doing his best to impress Roxanne, and then through his attempt to impress Roxanne, like this principal overreacts and says like these heinous things, as we've discussed before, which causes Goofy to be like, "Oh, I'll take him on this trip. We'll reconnect, and I'll get him back on like the good graces. Like I'll get him back on the good side, so he won't become a gang member, so he won't go in the electric chair, blah blah blah." Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then that leads Max to have to be like, "Oh, I can't go to the Powerline concert with you. I can't do that." And then which leads Roxanne to say, "Well, for I'll go with someone else." She doesn't necessarily imply she's going on a date with someone else. Maybe she's just going with a friend to the showing, whatever. You don't know. But which leads Max in a panic to lie to Goofy, to Roxanne about going to the concert. So then they start going on the road, you know, and they're just following Goofy's trip. They go to the possum show, then they out of nowhere run into Pete and PJ, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, PJ informs Max that the entire neighborhood knows, the entire town knows about him going to the Powerline concert. Which leads him to like, oh, I have to fucking do this somehow. I have no idea how though. Then eventually leads them to like sleeping in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Which at that point, Bigfoot and Goofy's snoring is so loud that like it doesn't allow like Max to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So like so then like through some weird thing, I forget what happens. Like he accidentally like opens up the glove department, which leads him to the map. Which then he redraws the route they're going on. And then the next morning, Goofy makes Max the navigator. Mind you, Pete had also said, "Oh, Goof, if you want to make sure your kid's gonna stay on the straight and narrow, you need to have him under your thumb. You can't have him be like you can't. You have to have him under your thumb." So
Yeah.
and so and then like Goofy's like, "I'll go my own way with it." Like after like trying it once and not working, then like they kind of like Goofy and him like start going to these like places that they both like. But then they end up at the motel, and they run into Pete and PJ again, and so Pete overhears that Max had altered the map while he was talking to PJ, and then Pete like they meet at the hot tub in the jacuzzi. And like Pete is like, that Max kid is no good. He's like, look, I know he's not what you think a son should be, but it's like I overheard them. It's like he changed the map on you, Goof. And he's like, Max didn't do that. And then he's like, check that map, Goof. I'm telling you. And he's like, I don't need to. I know my son. And then like. Goofy, in a moment's hesitation, goes to the car, almost opens the glove department, but then he's like, no, I'm not going to do it. Hits the. He's like, mind you, Goofy is so actually distressed at this information.
Mm-hmm.
It's like super sad.
Yeah.
And he hits he punches the steering wheel like lightly, and it opens up the glove department. Bam comes open the map. And he clearly sees what's in it. He goes to the room, and he just can't deal with it anymore. Like he's just like, oh, my son totally lied to me. So then like they continue on their trip, and they come to this basically not a crossroad, but like they have to make a like decision: go left or go right. Going right is where Goofy knows he needs to go right. Going left would take him to California and like to like Los Angeles, and like he knows that's like where Max is like renting them to go instead. So he's going, all right, Max, I'm letting you choose, and blah blah blah. And so then he goes left, then like hijinks ensue. They go off, blah blah blah, Powerline concert, all that. But
right.
So what I'm getting at is like I don't know which plot is the main plot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just like thrusting emotions into each other, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's yeah. What were you gonna say, Alex?
I feel like the two main plots I feel like are happening in this movie is Goofy feeling disconnected from his son Max, and Max just wanting to be his own person, and more so like he wants to connect with Roxanne, who he has a crush on, you know.
Yeah.
So like I feel like those are the two big main plots. Now the whole point of Goofy going on this fishing trip was to his plot is to reconnect with Max, and like this, and in doing so, this is interfering with Max's plot of connecting with Roxanne. So like that's causing friction. Like had this had this fishing trip been a week later, I feel like there would be no movie because, you know, he would just go to see the concert with Roxanne, and then his dad would have sprung it on him, and he probably would have dragged his feet a little bit, like, oh, but I just, started going out with Roxanne, but he's like, well,
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 that's the reason,
whatever.
but that's what I'm saying. That's the reason why it's hard to say what the main plot is, because they all lead into each other.
I was gonna say, like, once I realized that, I wanted to say, "Oh, this is a good movie." It's just good story writing.
Yeah,
you know?
like it's just like one beat leads into another, and like it kind of goes forward
very fluidly.
Yeah, yet again, like it's only as an adult that that I would realize the fade to blacks that like leads to scenes with like no explanation.
That just right.
Yeah, like the fact that like they just easily sneak into the Powerline concert, and the fact that Powerline just allows them to dance on stage.
No, he respects the game that Goofy be spitting. So
well, he respects the moves that is the perfect cast.
Yeah. He's like, damn, that's good shit right there. He cooking.
He's cooking.
Said Tevin Campbell.
And for the first time ever, he's cooking.
I wish that was in the movie.
No, but yeah, like it's particularly, but yeah, exactly. Like the fact that the story is so fluid and all these things, it is genuinely upsetting that Roxanne doesn't really pop up in like much else, like from this, because she's written, she's not like a great, amazingly well written character or anything, but it's just like Max's crush on her is so well written, and so like it's a believable pushing force for Max in this movie, and so the fact that they just lose connection at some point, it's an upsetting. It's not a cool note.
No, it doesn't make me happy.
No, it doesn't.
So at least she came back in that episode of
House of Mouse.
A couple of episodes of House of Mouse, yeah.
Oh no, not in DuckTales. I was gonna say, but yeah, House of Mouse.
Oh yeah. So if they took place in the same continuity, which they probably don't, but if they did take place in the same continuity, Max went to prom with Roxanne.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but wasn't prom before college though?
Prom was before college, but not that long before college when we think about it. So what happened? Makes you curious, does it not?
Right.
Maybe I was gonna say maybe she's like, oh, you're going to a different college than me. Oh, I guess I'll find a new boyfriend at this college.
Yeah, again, I think it's just more of a scenario. It's just the distance is too much for me, because getting that we're talking about 95, 2000, for extremely goofy movie. Long distance relationships were still a tad harder back in the day.
And talking to someone via dial-up.
Well, not even just talking to someone via dial-up, but remember you had minutes on your phone calls and shit.
Yeah.
And you could only call certain times, and they're maybe if they're the same carrier after certain hours, Like, remember that shit?
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Man, I wonder, fucking hell, I forgot about that shit until, like, recently. Because, like, that's, like, what I used to do. That's what I used to do with my other best friend, Marcus. Like, we would just be on the phone, like, as soon as, like, 9 hit, we'd be on the phone for, like, ever. Because, you know, like, our minutes, like, you had unlimited minutes at that point. I'd just be like, talk, 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 talk. You know? Good God. I miss those days.
Mm-hmm.
It incentivized you to call your friend. Holy hell. But yeah, so what a wild time that is. But yeah, so
Happy to be alive.
I know. But yeah, so it's very curious. Like yeah, again, like I have to give it up to Goofy's like voice actor. He was genuinely distraught when he found out like Max was like possibly betraying him,
Mm-hmm.
betraying his trust.
Bill Farmer.
Yeah,
Ex-actor.
yeah, like it's like Goof like literally sounds like heartbroken with every fucking word he speaks.
Yeah, and then you also get like pissed off Goofy, which is a little pretty rare.
Very rare, truth be told. Yeah. Then yeah, when he has a temper tantrum at the canyon.
Yeah, like it's weird. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you're seeing a side of Goofy that you don't see. Like
When
ever.
yeah, like when he blamed Max when the car's like, "What did you do now?" And I'm like, "Whoa."
Yeah. What did I do? Well, he's like, it's your car. You should put the brake on. Well, you distracted me. You know, it's like, damn, Goofy, fucking hell. Like, no, it's just like, you know, he's justified in his anger. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That was very much a real like father son moment.
Yeah, it's just like, exactly. It was a very real like moment of like, you know, people, um, button heads, and then like kind of like, you know, it's like, yeah, and like and the very in the song, well, you know, exactly. It's like, you know, like it's like what Goofy says. It's like, you know, it's like, you know, I just like I knew you were growing up, but I just wanted to be a part of it. You know, like that's like kind of like the entire like arc for Goofy's character. That like is like he learns what being a part of it means. It just changes. And like it's not what he thought it meant. It's not the same thing he shared with his father either. You know.
Right.
By the way, how Pete has dough in like a Goofy movie
Yeah.
because he has that RV
He
that
clearly won out in the divorce.
in the alleged divorce.
Right. I mean, like, well, what is it then? Like, is it either it's divorce or he made a deal with Mephisto to have never married Peg? But, you know, that just seems unlikely.
I want to sell. Hey, I want to sell like I want to be that I never married Peg. Well, the cost is keeping PJ. You got a deal.
Oh, good. He'll do stuff for me.
Win-win, technically. You have to be in Kingdom Hearts. Well, shit.
He found work with Maleficent, so it's apparently she pays pretty good.
I get benefits.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, like so yeah, like actually, like yeah, Goofy movie was like a really fun guy to go back to movie. It's like I know like the runtime is technically an hour and 21 minutes, but that's like including credits. Like the movie is like more accurately like an hour and like 14 minutes long. It's a relatively short movie.
Same thing with Extremely Goofy Movie.
Oh yeah, Extremely Goofy Movie. I remember specifically being pretty short. Which reminds me, let me share the the art I got commissioned by Rackham Spoons.
Yes, definitely do. Shouts out to who made it?
Rackham Spoon.
Go give them a follow, boys and girls. They're really, really talented, and they did a really good job.
They did an absolutely fantastic job. Look at our heroines of their respective movies.
Nice.
Yeah.
Little sexy hoe. I mean,
you know something? It's really funny that so one of the comments in like the post of this literally said, "Is like I didn't realize the similarities they had." I was like, "Yeah, right." Yeah.
This is like a Pokemon evolution sort of deal I'm looking at.
you know, it'd be like a funny one, like the three, like Roxanne, Sylvia, and from behind the original Mrs. Goof.
The original, yeah, but you don't see Mrs. Like
you never saw her face.
Yeah, you never saw her face, so it'd be like she's like covered by like Roxanne's hair or some shit.
Yeah, like do like a Miss Bellum kind of.
You know what? I'm gonna get commissioned. I'm gonna get commissioned Mona and Mrs. Good.
The B scenario.
The B scenarios. Poor Mona. She's just not Roxanne.
Yeah, not to mention like her haircut. It doesn't look that haircut doesn't look good in 3D either. So I don't know what you want.
Well, what's it called? It wasn't that it didn't look good. It's just like they couldn't do it allegedly, whatever the fuck that means.
Give her a fucking haircut. Maybe it had something to do with like maybe the voice actress didn't want to come back because Bill Farmer and Jason Marsden have played Goofy and Max pretty consistently.
Well, yeah. Like the stated reason is that it was like the stated reason is that they just couldn't get the technology, like the 3D animation just couldn't handle Roxanne's hair.
And I mean, look at it in that picture. I mean, it's amazing.
I mean, yeah, it's really good. Like, well, because that was a huge thing about how she was animated. Truth be told, like, yeah. like she plays with her hair a lot. Honestly,
I know it's adorable.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like if they were gonna bring the character over, I would imagine they would want to emulate that in her character. But then if they weren't able to, then So.
Mm-hmm.
So, by the way, Bobby's like an asshole.
Bobby's a shitty friend.
Yeah, he's about to sell out like Max, and like Max like, hey, the Goof kid's not there.
Yeah. What the fuck, prick? What do you mean, like?
Yeah, I know, and I'm like, okay.
On a first name basis, what the fuck's his problem?
and then like once Max pops up, it's like, hey, it's Max. I know my friend's on the tube, and I'm like, oh my god. And I'm just here like,
some friend you are.
And I'm just, not only that, I'm like, Pauly Shore 100% dates the movie the most. That and the fact they're watching a concert on pay-per-view.
Yeah. Yeah, more so than that. Like,
because you just like pay to stream it now. Like, well, they would just call it streaming now.
My God, you just made me envision like a Zoomer version of the Goofy movie, which probably could be solved. Like if someone just texted someone else, the movie would probably be like a lot shorter.
Yeah. I would actually like a remake of like for a modern Goofy movie. I'd be down with it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like, yet again, it's not going to take away from the original, because the original is always going to exist.
The like strange position that it's in is that they don't really do 2D anymore. So like it would be either 3D or some horrific CG thing.
Well, it would be CG, and yeah, like,
Would they be able to animate Roxanne's hair now?
well, yes. I mean, wait, okay. Brave was Pixar, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't even say that. But yeah, look how they animated Frozen. Like they animate those bitches' hairs like a lot, very well. You know what I mean?
You say those bitches' hairs.
I did say those bitches' hairs.
Look at that bitch's hair.
Well, those bitches, specifically those two. Yeah, it's Rakeem Spoon, RAKEEMSPOON on Twitter. Um, yeah, they're a fantastic artist. They're kind of famously known for doing anime Betty Boop, and
Yeah, which is also awesome. And go check that out if you haven't.
yeah, and so like they put up their commissions, and I was like, yo, I gotta get in on these commissions, dude. This fucking commission has nearly 4,000 likes, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Did someone? Someone just fucking knocked this door. But yeah, like I fucking love yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna get a commission of Mona.
Sorry about that.
It's all good. Who was that?
It doesn't matter because we're cutting all this out.
No, we're not.
Something gets cut out.
Yeah, the only thing that gets there's only one thing that gets like truly edited in this.
Oh, right.
Fucking hell. But yeah, so the
You knew he was going to do that.
I know I shouldn't have I shouldn't have walked too close to the sun. Anyway, but yeah, like I think I'm gonna get Mona commissioned next, and maybe I'll even get Mrs. Goof commissioned also.
Oh, dude, that person would draw Peg like she's already insanely sexy.
Yes, the
According to
beautiful and incredibly sexy wife.
Yes, according to the official Wikia.
It's official.
I mean, it's a Wikia. It's the Goofy Wikia.
Walt wrote that himself. So
speaking of real life, what are you gonna say?
My mind can't be changed on that. Sorry, what were you saying?
So speaking of real life people who are in the Goofverse, because yet again, when they play 20 questions, they both yet again like they bring up Walt Disney twice in a Goofy movie. For fuck's sake, twice, right?
Yeah.
So Walt, so another person who gets referenced, Adam told me, is Trump.
Yep. And
that's hilarious to me.
Because you tell the story, Adam.
Yeah, in episode 2, the main plot is that PJ believes he failed the math test, and his dad said, "If you fail this test, you're grounded for life." And so he's like, "Well, I have until 3:30 for the mail to come, to do everything I want to do with my life before I'm grounded for life." And he sees I failed. So when one of the things he wanted to do was ride down in a push cart down Main Street, which is a giant hill. And he's like, when he gets to the top, he starts chickening out. I'm like, can we do something safer, like say skydive off the Trump Tower?
God, I can't even imagine what Donald Trump looks like in the Goofyverse.
It's an interesting proposition, isn't it?
Man.
And now we know what the thumbnail will be.
Man, imagine 2016 election in the Goofverse.
Mike Spoonerville, great again.
That was maybe
Benghazi happened in Goofverse.
But Max, what about her emails?
She deleted all of them.
Now, I've never deleted a single email in my life.
I don't even have email.
On the anniversary of 9/11, no less. I don't want to do this. I don't like this. All right.
But yeah,
you're fake news.
Dad.
Maxley, that's just a load of liberal bullshit.
But Dad, Trump's a fascist. That's fake news, Maxie. Fake news, I'll tell you.
I think Trump probably just looked like Pete, right?
Well, Trump's not that fat.
No, you're right. But probably the similar like presence.
I mean, I guess. I mean, yeah, presence, yeah. Similar auras, if you will.
Yeah.
This pressure. It's either Trump or Pete. I pray it's Trump. Can you believe we were like 2 degrees away from having Trump in Kingdom Hearts?
Wait,
Excuse me?
Because he existed in Disney.
That's upsetting.
Wait, who made Home Alone? Was that Disney?
Yeah, I don't.
No, no. Was it? I think it was New Line Cinema who made them. Oh. But yeah, man. God, you know what I really wish they would do? If like Phantom Events would like show a Goofy movie or extremely Goofy movie in theaters, like again.
That would be cool.
Yeah, because like me and Brian, we went to see Akira in the theater recently, because they were really showing it, and I'm like, man, I wish I could just see a Goofy movie in theaters. Can you imagine hearing Powerline on like theater speakers?
In 4K? Hell yeah.
In 4K? Can we talk? Did we ever talk about how long it took for the Goofy movies to fucking be available on fucking Blu-ray?
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why they didn't.
It's because of Krasenberg. That was like the last project he was associated with, and they didn't even want to put out the original Goofy movie. They just did it because contractual obligations.
Wait, is this confirmed?
That's what, according to the Wikia.
Yeah.
Because like when Kratzenberg caused a lot of bad blood within Disney.
Yeah, I know.
So
I've heard of this. Man, fucking, I hate people, man. They're so stupid. So stupid and retarded. Like all this bullshit that they pull all the time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just like fucking. Don't make your fans suffer for eternal conflictual bullshit.
Well, also like they just put it out just because they contractual obligations, and it flopped in the box office. But it's like it found a home on VHS, and that's when the cult following happened. Happened, and then it's very recently they kind of got over it, and also they saw any opportunity to make money without having to make new shit, they gladly take. You know.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, because it only came out last year, correct? The fucking Blu-rays.
Last year, really? Huh.
Yeah.
I thought it was like in 2015 for the 20th anniversary.
No. This was super recent. It was like it's kind of like crazy recent how soon this was. But yeah, it's insane, man, that they waited so goddamn long. Yeah, it got released April 23rd, 2019, dude.
Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. Like the genuine, like it was never on Blu-ray. I would imagine it's on DVD. Fucking imagine. I hope. That'd be fucking wild if it wasn't. Yeah, it was on DVD. But like, but yeah, but like after the DVD releases of fucking Goofy movie, and extremely Goofy movie, and like the VHS, like those have never seen like a because like Disney loves to like re-release shit all the time, like special Cinderella with sing-along subtitles and shit like that.
Better get it before we put it back in the vault.
Yeah, like that bullshit they pull all the time. Like, like the fact that they never ever touched this shit. Wild. Same thing with Black Cauldron, man. Bring back Black Cauldron,
Yeah, Disney wants you to forget it ever happened so badly.
I know, but I will never forget it happened.
I'll never forget Song of the South.
I'll never forget Song of the South either. God bless me.
Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day.
I almost started singing Alabama.
Oh God, no! No, don't.
I mean, no, I can't. I mean, I can. I'll have to censor myself. But like, I straight up just nearly like, dude. I was walking out of CVS. I was walking out of CVS like yesterday, and I was like, I'm in Alabama. I was like, wait.
No. Oh God.
Like the other day, like not the other day, like last week, I was singing that song to myself. Like in my office, I was like no one comes near there, so I'm lucky.
Oh God.
But yeah, man.
Oh no.
Connor, are you drawing the thumbnail?
I am. I'm attempting to.
Are you want to live stream it so we can see you do it?
It doesn't look good yet.
I mean that's the whole point. That's the point of a speed painting, bro. But it won't be speedy.
It won't be speedy.
Did this be too much pressure to?
No. Hold on. Let me just finish.
Actually, wait. Do you have OBS?
No.
Fuck. Because that's what they say. If you have OBS, then you could just record like yourself drawing it, and like you could send me the footage, and I actually know like that we're running late on this one to begin with, so I can't do that to begin with. So that was a foolhardy idea to begin with. So I apologize.
It's okay. Oh, I spelled podcast wrong.
But yeah, yeah. So like, for being able to finally watch the original Goofy movie from beginning to end again was really like fucking fun and a joy. I'm glad that it is a capstone to the Goof Troop show, even though it was followed up by an extremely Goofy movie. But yeah, again, I'm so fucking happy that I finished watching a Goofy movie, because I'm really, really excited to watch an extremely Goofy movie. Like, really, really excited.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know why. I just fucking love that movie. I think it's just because like it was always there for me, like because it was always running on my TV.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was just ever so charming, and just seeing like yeah, Sylvia, my God, like What a knockout of the park when it comes to character design. Am I right?
Hell yeah.
And she was such a cool character, and like Goofy's 10 out of 10 always. And yet again,
She had soft mommy vibes.
she did have soft mommy vibes, which was what made her Kino. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
And related to the Goofy movies. Well, the only thing I would say like that was funny that like I talked about like off screen that I found out recently was the voice actor of Goofy was also the voice actor of Makoto Date's from the Yakuza on PS2, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah, the original Yakuza.
He played Detective Date?
Yep.
Wait, I guess he did kind of sound like, well, Kiryu, what are you gonna...
Well,
Why'd you do it, Kiryu? Why'd you kill you? Why'd you kill your boss? My wife divorced me, and
well, Sylvia left.
My wife divorced me, and my daughter is becoming a whore.
That's for the Kyodais out there.
Yeah.
What else is there? Fuck. Wait. You didn't mention this because we talked about it on the train ride. We talked about how in episode 13.
Yes.
What's it called? So Max stays up all night or something.
Yeah.
You watched it. I didn't. Please tell us. Enlighten us.
All right. Episode 13 was a pretty, let's say, a big episode in terms of for lore building. The episode starts off as like Max and Goofy stayed up all night writing this report, and to a point where like they don't sleep at all, and like Max goes to school, doesn't take it takes only a page from his report because like they're literally like sleepwalking, doing throughout the whole day. Like his lunch is like a mess, and his teacher like sends like contacts like I wouldn't say like the guidance counselor, and it's like out of concern that for his home life, saying like like, oh, Max is too much to handle for one person to do, and like Max panics at the thought of like being taken away from his dad. So he just said, "Oh, my dad's getting married. Don't you don't have to worry about that." And she's like, "Oh, that's great. And I can't wait to meet her then." And so Max in panic goes home and like tells his dad like, you just basically straight up just tells him you need to get married. And rather than Goofy just like, what are you? It's just like writing him off, and he's like, gosh, Max, I thought we had a good thing going, just the two of us. But if you really want a mom, and he was just going along with it. And he explains, and he has to say like, they might take me away, if otherwise. So, which is really weird, because like this is the fucking 80s. So Goofy talks to Peg about getting married, and she signs him up for online dating.
No, this was in the 80s. Was it?
No,
it was early 90s.
It was like the early 90s. It was not the 80s.
Early, but still.
It's still wild.
Even back then, but and like so Max does like the questionnaire for him, and he actually writes a very sweet, touching thing, saying like perfect father, perfect husband, like it's because he was like, well, let me be. It's like honest. Well, he didn't want to say his dad's like a goofball. He says like great laugh, good with kids, good good at housekeeping and cooks a great dinner. And he actually wrote a really nice, like, a good entry. The only problem where, in terms of the fuck up comes about, is Pete being an asshole. And, like, just decides, like, he wants to get a wife? Let me fuck that over. And purposely gives his, like, dating profile to, like, this person he was supposed to hire for doing, like, renovations on a building he had or some shit. And she was just, like, just a butchy, like, pushy woman. And she's like, oh, that's perfect for the Goof. And hijinks happens. Like, she goes to the house thinking she's doing a job, and Goofy thinks, like, she's there for a date, and like the house accidentally gets destroyed in the process. And when like he panics like when the lady starts leaving, and he goes to Peg like, what do I do? And she says, well, it's just like, quick, like dance with her, like, or something like that, because apparently Goofy is one of his strengths is dancing. And as this was happening, the guidance counselor was coming to visit to check on the home, and like Goofy just grabs her with his eyes closed and starts just dancing like salsa. And she was really impressed by it, but like she sees the house is a complete wreck at the same time. But she recommends like Max be removed for the time being, at least until the house gets repaired. But while she's checking, he goes to stay at Pete's house. But she comes in and checks on and sees like Goofy's being a good father and like doting on him even when he's not there. And she realized, I was like, all right, I may have made a mistake in judging character of Goofy, and actually ask him out on a date also, just maybe some dancing. And Max kind of just butts his ass into the date. It's like, don't forget the most important thing when you go out. And they're like, what's that? And he's like, me. And they just, and the episode ends with them, just like the three of them, like going out on a date. And it was a little cute thing, but I was like, man, Max being a cockblock.
Yeah. But yeah, so
I'm trying to get my dick wet.
Do you want a mom or not, Max?
Look, I'll hit her with the mating press and she'll never forget. But yeah, like, so that gives even like, so yeah, that just really gives like this like interesting credence that like the mom is like very like extremely removed from the picture.
Mm-hmm.
To a very like, yeah, man. So like, yeah, like the possible like I still think I really feel like the how should I say, the divorce theory like sounds real to me. Like it sounds more like the truth,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it is, because the fact like Max doesn't even care so much about his mom, like the idea of his dad moving on. If his mom just died tragically, he would be like,
Yeah, like he would have
you're replacing mom.
Yeah, he would have like apprehension against it. Yeah.
But if it's just the fact that she just walked out on him, he wouldn't really care.
Like that's not even like a problem in an extremely Goofy movie either, with like Sylvia, where
he hooks him up immediately. He was the one who pushed it.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like it's just like, yeah, I'm just assuming like yeah, like they probably got divorced and she's just out there. God, what do you think Max's mom is doing? What do you think?
Getting railed.
Extreme BMX.
Extreme BMX. That's where he got all his talent from. His mom.
Yeah.
That's hard.
The thing is, but also to like lead your this is something I didn't bring up before. That episode where they name drop Goofy Jr.
Mm-hmm.
The whole premise of the episode was like it's a high school reunion, and they want to give an award to everybody of like what they did after high school. Mm-hmm. And Goofy was like didn't do anything after high school. So they were like, we got to give you an award for something. He's like, well, nope, haven't really done much. And so, like, if he was an actor, wouldn't that have been an award, like, of some sort? Like, that would have been mentioned at all, and it wasn't. Like, the whole setup was, like, he wanted to do something not only to earn an award, but he wanted to, like, make his son proud of him, because his son was kind of, like, embarrassed. Like, Dad, you didn't do anything? Even in high school? Like, he didn't join any sports teams? He's like, nope.
But that's not true, because he was a cheerleader.
Well, I mean, like, that's it, but, like, he wasn't on any sports team in the sense of, like, oh, Dad, you were in the you played basketball? He's like, oh, nope, I fell from the stands. I was in the bleachers.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, Like that's what I'm saying. Like he wasn't cheerleading. That could have given him an award. That much is confirmed.
Yeah, but like I guess yeah, he was on the cheerleading squad, I guess, but like
Cheerleading's a
he
sport.
fair. But I guess like in terms of like he didn't earn an award like after high school, like he didn't do anything after high school, so
Well,
to
they were
speak.
just were they showing awards that they earned, or were they giving awards for what they've done after high school? What was the plan premise?
Giving awards for what they'd done after high school, and like he didn't, and apparently he didn't do anything, and like
I
he
don't
even
know.
like
What's going? Like we're talking about Goofy here, and Goofy probably just like would be like, "Oh, I mean, yeah, I acted, but like that's not doing anything. That's acting." You know what I mean?
it's weird because it's like there is evidence against it. There's also evidence supporting it because in another episode he goes to like acting school to like earn a degree in pantomiming.
Which they bring back in a Goofy movie.
Yeah, yeah, with the I remember that, and he actually I remember that was actually a really funny gag.
Yeah, it's a hilarious gag. There's like this like they're at this park and this mime is just miming and Goofy starts miming with him and like he holds out like a rope. The mime holds out a rope for him and Goofy goes to cut it and he does, but then a real piano like comes and crushes the mime.
That was a fucking great joke.
Yeah,
And he just walks away whistling like,
yeah, him and Max are
nothing
like,
to see here.
yeah, him and Max just like, oh no. So yeah, that's interesting. Well, you got the degree. Like maybe that was just like I don't know. That's weird. I don't know. Because again, like Goofy is the type of nigga to forget that nobody means a word. Like you know what nobody means. Because there's this clip, I think it's from House of Mouse, where it's just like Mickey, Donald, and Goofy were like, "Whoa, nobody's here," and it's like, "Nobody? Who's nobody?" It's like, oh, it's like nobody's here, and it's like, but we're here, and like it's like some like typical Goofy, like not understanding wordplay or whatever. But then he at the end of it, he's like, I heard Mickey, I heard no one's here, and then Mickey's like, but whatever. So yeah, I don't know.
That when was that episode? That had to be like what 2000
Oh, I
something.
Yeah, man, I don't know. What imagine? So what ends up happening in that episode beside like the
Well, like the episode about like earning an award.
yeah.
Well, like I said, he ended up trying to do like Max tries to help him like do any like sort of competitive stuff and like typical Goofy hijinks and always ends up not working out, like trying to do pogo sticking and accidentally ends up in wet cement and getting stuck in there. Trying to like do like flying with balloons, all the balloons pop, yada yada yada. But it ultimately ends on a very, very touching, like, I actually kind of teared up a little bit because, as always I do when it comes to this kind of stuff.
I feel it.
They gave him an award for best father and son, for a father who would do anything for his son and a son who would do anything for his father,
That's sweet.
Yeah. And it was just like, it's like, well, and he's like, well, gosh, Max, are you proud of me now? It's like, I was always proud of you, Dad. I'm like,
I don't know, man. Because Goofy had to have done something prior.
Well, not according to him, because they even asked, like, have you done? She even asked, like, well, like, what have you done since high school? Like Goofy, and he's like, gosh, nope, nothing, nothing that special. Sort of just like, I can make a casserole or stuff like, like, well, have any exciting stories? It's like, well, gosh, one time I threw out the garbage and I accidentally had Waffles being his cat.
Well, like this nigga is like friends with like Mickey and fucking Donald. You know, like he's like actually friends with them, and like they are like Mickey at the very least has some fame and notoriety in the universe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you know, man, this is one of those times when like you really are realizing you're trying to stitch together a sweater from the smallest of threads. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but that's
I
what
know,
we.
I know that's what we do, but like I just got hit by that like feeling really hard. Then I'm like, you know what? I'm thinking about I'm trying to justify this actor theory super hard because they show the films in House of Mouse. Then I'm just here like, I'm doing this to me. No one else is.
House of Mouse isn't doing it to you.
Like this is us right now.
Yeah, like we definitely like what? Yeah, like because
Like,
I am.
it's not trapped. You're not trapped in here with it. It's trapped in here with you.
Yeah, like I'm just here like, tell me, what
All
did
right.
Goofy do? What's the actor? Ah!
All right, fellas. I'm about to post
Oh,
the thumbnail. I'm actually kind of happy with this one.
oh, 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 oh.
Trump Goof.
Yeah, I can beatbox. Not really. But yeah, man. Like, yeah, I am really like, yeah. Again, I'm going to chalk that up. If I'm being honest, I'm going to chalk that up to just Goofy being Goofy. That he doesn't think anything he's done is that big of a deal. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised Goofy didn't say, "Well, raise my son." You know?
Yeah, you think that, like, like, because he's always 100%, like, on board for anything to do with Max. Although it's really, it's kind of funny because, like, in one episode early on, I forgot which one, I think it was like episode like 3 or 4, like, Pete and Goofy get into an argument when Max pulls a prank on them, and it ends up going a kind of a step too far by accident. Like they were just like, it's like I wouldn't say what is it? I wouldn't say animal abuse, but it was very much like, yeah, it's kind of fucked up because like they were shooting water balloons. They first shot it at their Pete's dog, and then they started shooting it at Pistol, and then the problem was like the water balloon gun was going way too fast, and they started like just going haywire, and then they just caused huge hijinks for both families, and like then they like Pete and Goofy start arguing. It's just like, this was all your son's fault, and it's like, my son, well, your son listened to my son.
That's actually a great joke.
Your son listened to my son. Yeah, my son's a psychopath, but your son listened to a psychopath, making him an idiot, like me.
And he was saying, like, if my son was your son, I'd still be an idiot. He actually said that.
Really?
That's really good.
Fuck, Goof Troop sounds like an actual fun time. What the fuck?
Yes, it is.
I've yet to see a single episode, so I'm probably gonna start on that this week. Then I'm gonna start on Goof Troop.
You totally should, dude, because like it's almost kind of surreal because of how much we love the Goofy movies that like Goof Troop exists. Like it's like if this band you've always loved, oh, it turns out they have all these other albums that you've never heard before. So like that's kind of like what Goof Troop feels like.
Yeah, it's like knowing it's like being into Pink Floyd and only listening to Dark Side of the Moon, and like and like maybe like The Wall, and then like being like, hey, by the way, they have like that's not even their best work, by the way. Fuck you.
What?
It's like
Wall?
It's like listening to Joji's like Ballads 1 and realizing, oh yeah, Pink Season exists.
Almost, yeah.
Well, no, it's actually a more accurate thing is like listening to Joji, and then realizing that he did Filthy Frank before. Like, like you're like, wait, he did what before? This whole thing?
And there's lore?
There's lore? Yeah, exactly.
Hey, yo,
Yeah.
hold up.
By the way,
It's kind of...
where's that goddamn thumbnail?
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, it was really funny. The whole point of the Goofy movie exists. It's supposed to be like it's supposed to be like, the ending to Goof Troop, like,
Well, yeah.
so to speak. Yeah, that was the whole point of it, was when it was established. Like, all right, let's like basically like give Goof Troop.
Holy shit, dude!
Woo, that's good.
I've never drawn Donald Trump before, so drawing him as a dog is like extra hard.
I almost want to end the episode there.
Yeah, just at you laughing.
Yeah!
Yeah, it would be the first time.
Fucking hell, dude.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
That's good. That's gold. Goof the vote.
We can change that later if you want, but I thought
No.
Nah, Goof the vote. I mean, it's relevant for the season.
Hey, I mean, the debate is happening literally as we speak right now.
As we're recording, yeah.
This is the only debate that matters.
The debate as to was Goofy an actor or not.
Right, exactly. What's his backstory?
What is his backstory?
What is the deeper lore of the Goofy movie universe?
The Goofy movies.
Goofy movies universe.
The Goofy movies universe.
I would love to see Donald Trump and Joe Biden like stumble over like debating the Goofy movie.
What? This question goes to both of you. Which movie is better, Goofy movie and Extremely Goofy movie? Biden, you're first. Well, I'll tell you what, Jack. the Goofy movie came out first, and Extremely Goofy movie. There's. That's what I gotta say. Mr.
Okay, there's still another minute for your response.
Mr. President? Well, we're being honest here. I personally think that a Goofy movie is better because they mention my tower in Goof Troop, and Goofy movie is more related to Goof Troop than Extremely Goofy movie.
They mentioned my beautiful tower.
They mentioned my beautiful tower, and that positive points from me. I did not sponsor the X Games ever in my life, ever. Just fucking.
Yeah, it's like
I'm like if there's ever like an open questionnaire for like if I could ever go to a presidential like town hall, I dead ass will ask Trump that. What's better, a Goofy movie or an Extremely Goofy movie?
You see, in a Goofy movie, it's a road trip. You see all this beautiful land. You see the beautiful land of America.
You see this beautiful country of ours. You see all the diversity and the faces and what makes this country great. Two red-blooded Americans seeing the entire country. What's better than that?
Meanwhile, an Extremely Goofy movie. It takes place on a liberal college campus. I don't like it. It's not as good.
It's full of losers.
They're losers.
And suckers.
They're losers. We know this. Bradley Uppercrust the third. He's part of Antifa. It's been proven.
It's been proven.
That's just turning egregious now.
No, you need to say it's so pathetic. They're like it's so pathetic. They didn't even name the Beret Girl. They don't even name Beret Girl. Say it.
Wait, what? They don't even need the what?
They didn't even name Beret Girl.
They didn't even name Beret Girl. Can you believe it? I mean, God, what I wouldn't do.
Fuck! Alright. Thank you for listening. It's another great episode. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Thank you for everyone who's fucking watched.
Please watch our extradition trial once it happens.
Remember
this. If I free Hong Kong.
No!
Fuck it. Oh, no,
Nah, yeah. Fuck yeah. Free Hong Kong. China.
Taiwan.
Taiwan
Taiwan is a country, you piece of shit.
China is just West Taiwan. Fucking deal with it. Fucking deal with it. Register to vote, you fucks.
Oh god. Well, this is goodbye everyone. I may not exist after this.
We're not China cucks.